Hello everybody and welcome back to the Crypto Potluck. It has been a while, but I am back and we are going to be jumping into how to set up a virtual private server. Now, why is a virtual private server important? When automation trading, virtual private servers can be used in multiple different facets. One of the big things is if you're running a trading program on your actual computer, it can slow down your computer, you're transferring a lot of data in and out, and it really isn't ideal. So the best option is to basically purchase a server where you have your own little computer there that you can remotely access, that is specifically designed for trading and for basically Forex and being able to move data really fast as is required when using these trading programs. This is also very beneficial because it also helps you manage everything a lot cooler, and I genuinely think it's awesome to have a virtual private server, and I think it's pretty neat. So let's dive into it. In this video, we're going to be talking about VPSServers.com. I have a link in the description. If you click that link, you can get there, and it's basically a way to help support this channel, as it's a referral link, and I think that you guys also get something for it. But you have a 7-day free trial if you use the link, and by signing up, I'm going to create an account with you. Now, the first thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to confirm your email. Now, after confirming your email address, you're going to be brought to the actual server page. Now, this is really cool, and I'll tell you that it does have a nice little selection of servers, and I hope to see that they add to it. So, for example, you have to do a little bit of research on what trading platform you're really trading on and where their servers are located. For example, Binance, everybody assumes that it's located in the Asia area, so you would probably want to pick an Asian server so that you have a better ping when trading if your main goal is to trade on Binance and have trading bots on that. However, if you're looking at BitMEX or something like that, that is located in like Ireland, so you might want to get something located in Germany or London or Amsterdam so that you're closer to that area. That is my best opinion about doing a little bit of research on where your trading platform is located and trying to pick the best server that fits for you. Just as the demonstration though, I'll just do London and we'll get it going. Okay, so the next thing is you have operating systems. There's a lot of different options, and this might be pretty intimidating, but in general, they actually have a Forex option. So basically, you're already pre-configured for a Forex option, and then you can just pick this, and then you can go next step if that is what you want to do. But in general, you could just use a Windows server, or you could use Ubuntu if you want to do that. But I'm just going to stick with the Forex one because it's just designed for that, and I'm going to be processing a lot of information, so this just is the best option for me. Now, in general, it just depends how many trading bots you're going to be working with, but if the only purpose of this application, of this virtual private server is going to be just running one trading bot, you should be good at the $9.99. You could start with that, and then if it isn't enough, if you're seeing that there is lag and it's having issues, then you can move it up. That's what I would recommend. Start small, work your way up. I'm going to be using mine for other stuff other than just trading bots, so I'm going to go for a little bit bigger one. You could name this whatever, or you could just keep it as it is. In general, you really aren't going to need service level agreement, or you're not going to really need much support whenever doing this. So I'm just going to create the server. Now, as far as billing, I like this service in particular because you have a few different options as far as how you can go about paying for it. You have the ability to go for credit card. You can add funds basically manually here by doing Bitcoin or a wire transfer, and then you can get money added onto the account. And then there's actually a bonus if you do use Bitcoin, which I think is pretty cool. And then you have promo codes and stuff if you guys find one. But that's how you guys can, basically put money on here so that you're basically able to pay, whatever the monthly bill is for the virtual private server for whichever one you picked. Now, the cool thing about this is that there's a lot of information after you're done creating everything. As you can see here, it tells you the bandwidth and make sure that, you can check all the stats to make sure that you're running all right. This is how you can go about doing that, which I find very, very useful. But if we actually go into our servers, we'll see that we have, this server that I created. You can go into manage, and most of this information you're going to want to keep private, so make sure that nobody really sees it. But basically what we have here is we have power on, resize, backups, firewall, graph, network, RNS, logs, servers, control. Most of this you really don't need, okay? What you need to be focusing on is console right here. Once you click console, you're going to be brought up with the actual virtual private server, and then you can enlarge it here. I've actually already installed some stuff on here, but I'll show you what you need to do and what you need to install to basically get this thing running as it should, okay? Because honestly, this thing is a pain in the ass to work with, and you really don't want to be opening your virtual private server from here. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you guys to do is we're going to basically go into type in TeamViewer and then look it up, and then we're going to install that. There's going to be a lot of editing, as this is literally so laggy it is unusable if you're using this as the way to connect. This is why this is important to get figured out first. Okay, so once you arrive to TeamViewer, what you want to do is you want to click on download for personal use, and then you can click direct download, and then it should install TeamViewer. Now, as far as using TeamViewer, it's pretty simple, and we're going to connect it right away so that we don't have this lag. Open it up, and then there's actually a few ways to connect, okay? One of the easiest ways is just to use your ID, and you have a password here, but if you want, you can actually create a TeamViewer account, and then you can actually manage all of your computers a little bit easier by just going down here where it says computers and contacts, and then you can just directly connect to whatever computer you're trying to get to. So that is probably going to be the best way of going about it, and it's really easy to set up after originally creating the account, connecting to it, and then basically after you connect to computer, you'll get a confirmation email to say, do you want to allow this connection for whatever you registered with TeamViewer. You click that, and then you will allow it. So as far as just being able to connect, what we're going to do is we're going to make our way back over to our main computer. As you can see, I have TeamViewer up here, and then you want to do the exact same thing. Basically, you want to download TeamViewer for here also. Once you do that, then you'll see, as you see here, I opened it up, and I have TeamViewer installed on my main computer also as my virtual private server. Now, basically, all you're going to want to do is, if it's your first time to connect, you see the ID, you want to put that where it says partner ID. Just put those numbers in right here, and then just click connect. It should initialize everything, and then voila, we have a better one to work with. This is a lot faster, as you can see, the other one right there, where this one, we're able to load stuff, and it's actually usable. Where you can see in the left-hand screen, the other one's having a hard time to keep up, and you could just see the lag difference. So just for your own sanity, we had to do this. You can exit out of the other one. You're not going to be needed anymore. Now that you're actually connected to TeamViewer, this is going to be your main way of accessing your virtual private server. So I'm going to exit out of this. And then the next step is just downloading whatever trading program you're actually going to be using. For this demonstration, I'm just going to use HassOnline. Now, this has nothing to do with the actual video, but I just thought that this was pretty sneaky by CryptoHopper, because if you click on the first thing when looking up HassOnline, you'll see HassOnline Trading Bot join 550 members, whatever, and it'll take you to CryptoHopper. Touche, CryptoHopper. All right, I see how you're playing. Anyway, we're going to go to the actual HassOnline website. Now, after logging on to the HassOnline website, I'm going to go down to downloads, and then I'm going to download my actual application that I bought with HassOnline. After opening it up, there's a few different options. Of course, this one's a Windows server as we originally set up, so I'm going to stick with the Windows install package. Follow the steps, just click next, and you should be installed. Now, if you just go down here where you actually have folders, you can do that. You can type in HassOnline, and then you should see where it was actually saved, which this one was saved on the desktop, HassOnline Trade Servers, and then you're going to want to click the one with the actual bunny. Give it a little bit of time to do its own thing. Now, after everything's loaded, you're going to be brought up to the actual application, and it's going to open up within the browser, and then you'll be able to access and work everything from there. As you can see, now that this application is loaded, I can actually log in with my email and my license key, and then I'm actually set to go, and I'm on the trading platform. If, however, you see this and it doesn't pop up and it doesn't look pretty like this, and it's a huge mess, and you can tell that there's something wrong, the problem genuinely is that it's Internet Explorer. It's not the best for these applications. For HassOnline in particular, or any other application that you're looking to run automation trading wise, if it doesn't look pretty, your best option is to basically also download Google Chrome, and then whenever you get prompted upon downloading this, you will have the option to open it with Google Chrome, and then you'll have this nice pretty GUI that you'll be able to use to operate within your trading program. So with that, I hope that this was a pretty quick rundown on how to situate a virtual private server so that you are able to use it for trading applications and for trading bots. And I hope that this was able to provide some value. I'd really appreciate it if you guys like, subscribe, join our Discord if you guys have any questions upon trying to set this up, or if you hit any roadblocks. And with that, at the end of the day, you guys are your own investors, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day trading the market.